I'm gonna make a quick video right now. It's kind of late, but anyway, I didn't have a specific idea in mind for the subject of this video until later on today. And a lot of times when you just are neutral and you step back and you observe, you'll find there is subject matter in places where you wouldn't ordinarily look for it. So this was one of those instances. And some background info: I've lived at my current place for about 2 years now, and the way the units are set up, upstairs there are 2 units, downstairs 2 units, they're side by side. So I have a neighbor, and in this amount of time we never really had much to do with one another apart from your usual pleasantries and greetings and that sort of thing. But today I was riding my bike in the parking lot, trying to get some activity in, and he happened to be coming home from wherever, and we were gonna say our usual "Hey, how you doing?" But for some reason I started talking to him, and we had a conversation for about, say, a good half hour, maybe, give or take. And there was a meeting of the minds, and he was actually quite taken aback by what he perceives to be my how in touch I am with myself and my level of wisdom and knowledge, which he said was quite extensive for my quote-unquote young age of 28. And so it was a nice conversation, and there was a give and take, and I learned some things about him, and I'm sure he learned some things about me, that you see people so much every day, and you just become sort of jaded or robotic in terms of your perception of them, where they're not really people to you. They're just entities that exist in the same plane as you, but that don't really have, or what you can come to a place where you don't really consider them to be people that are actually people, that have stories, that have desires, wishes, struggles, that have all of these things. They just become like props almost, is what I'm trying to say. But so yeah, we had a nice conversation, and I guess the point of the video is that what I just described, it's easy for us to, when we're going about our own routines in our little bubbles, we can start to perceive people in this way. And so it's beneficial and wise to actually engage with people and make the effort, because everybody has a story, and you never know what you're going to uncover, what wisdom they have to convey, what aspects of their story are going to resonate with you, and vice versa, and how by making the effort to engage with these people that you so easily consider to be props, there can be an uplifting mutually. But you'll never, and I'll never, get to that point if you remain stuck in your bubble and set in your ways and unwilling to venture out, or you've incorporated this way of being, this introverted way of being, into your psyche for such a long time that it's your default, that this stuff happens subconsciously, and it's to the point where you don't even consider it. It's just going to happen because that's the vibration that you've interfaced with and fed for so long. The energy you fed and put out is going to be reflected back at you. So make an effort to and it doesn't have to be pointless small talk, a lot of hot air and dead space and all this stuff, where you can make an effort to try and go deeper, and depending upon the person and what their level is. But the most important part is that you make the attempt to interact with people, and venture out of your comfort zone and explore the different aspects of consciousness that you are confronted by and that you come across each day, but that you don't ordinarily, interact with or consider or conceptualize in that way. So, as I said, it was a nice conversation, and you go for so long, and then you realize that all the while there was a person there that you could have been interacting with and that had something to convey to you. And it's not necessarily that, it's not that I'm coming from a place of arrogance where I just don't want to talk to people because I think I have nothing to learn. I'm open to learning from all people. It's just that, like I said, I'm introverted by nature, and I don't really like to engage people that much. So it's something to work on for me, and it's something to work on for a lot of you guys as well. So I just want to encourage that. And it's not always going to be a pleasant experience when you do it, but that doesn't mean that that's what you have to consider as the, you don't have to make generalizations based on that one thing. And a lot of times we who struggle with social anxiety or introvertedness or all of these things, we're put off by the one experience, and we think we allow that to be the the benchmark for everything, because we're misguided in that way. We've adopted that black and white thinking, and we need to do away with that as well, and understand that there's nuance, there's subtlety, there's give and take, there's a whole gray area. And what you perceive to be failures and unsuccessful attempts at these sorts of things, you do not have to let that derail you and put you off and discourage you from continuing to have an attempt and forward motion and building momentum in the direction of virtue which you wish to one day come upon. Like a person wandering in the desert and they come upon that oasis finally. So yeah, there are many opportunities out there to elevate yourself and to elevate others, but it takes venturing out. It takes making a concerted effort to do things you wouldn't ordinarily do and interact with those you wouldn't ordinarily interact with. So make that effort, and I think there are great dividends to be paid there in terms of self discovery and the things of value that you can extract from others and their experiences and their journeys. And it's always good to go out and talk and network, and we don't exist in a vacuum. So make that effort. And I was reminded today that there is a whole other world out there, and everyone you encounter is holding a part of the key, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Tomb Raider, the original one, the first one from the 90s, when she's on the hunt for the Scion of Atlantis, and there are 3 parts to it, and those 3 people each have a part of that key that makes up the whole aspect of that consciousness, which is the Scion, which has powers and this sort of thing. So I don't want to drone on too long. I'm already going on 10 minutes, so that's pretty much the gist of this video. Venture out there, interact, and open yourself up. Be careful though. When you open yourself up, you're assuming a certain amount of risk, and there are those out there who will turn that slight opening into a gaping wound that they will corrupt and infect. So keep that in mind as well. Say less than necessary. Guard your words, manage your words. Check out my other videos on this channel. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate that. Share the video. Leave your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, anything you want my perspective on, my opinion on, anything you might be struggling with that you wish to, if I can lend some words of that will be beneficial or helpful to you, I'd be happy to do that. Pay attention to the name of this channel and check out the video I made regarding that. That's also important. Check out my other channel, Ray Rivera. I do music and art, and stay tuned for